Once upon a time, under the deep blue sea, there lived a young mermaid named Coral. Coral had sparkling scales that shimmered like diamonds in the sunlight that pierced the ocean's surface. She had long, flowing hair, the color of the setting sun, and a tail that glowed a soft, magical green. Coral lived in a beautiful underwater palace with her family and many sea creature friends. She spent her days exploring the vast ocean, playing hide and seek among the coral reefs with her best friend, Toby the Turtle. They loved to discover hidden treasures that had sunk from ships long ago. One day, while swimming through a part of the ocean she had never visited before, Coral found a strange object floating near the surface. It was a small, round object with a shiny surface. Curious, she swam closer and realized it was a human thing called a mirror. Coral had heard stories about humans, but had never seen anything from their world before. She was fascinated. Coral looked into the mirror and for the first time saw her own reflection. She was amazed by the sight of her sparkling scales and glowing tail. She decided to take the mirror back to her underwater palace to show her family and friends. When she showed the mirror to her family, her father, the king of the mermaids, told her about the world above the sea. He explained that the mirror had come from there, and that the world above was filled with wonders, but also dangers for mermaids. Coral became curious about the land above the waves. She longed to see the sun not just from beneath the water, but from above, to feel the warmth on her scales. Her father saw the curiosity in her eyes and said, "The ocean is your home, Coral, but I understand your desire to see the world above. You may go, but be careful and remember where you belong." So, with a heart full of excitement and a little bit of fear, Coral began her adventure. She swam to the surface and for the first time breached the ocean to look upon the land. The sight was more beautiful than she had imagined. She saw birds flying in the sky, trees swaying in the wind, and the vast expanse of the sandy beach. As Coral explored closer to the shore, a group of children spotted her shimmering tail. At first, they were scared, but Coral greeted them with a friendly smile. She told them about her home under the sea and about the wonders of the ocean. The children were fascinated and listened to her stories with wide-eyed wonder. In return, the children shared stories of their world with Coral. They told her about the mountains that touched the clouds, the forests filled with animals, and the cities that glowed at night. Coral realized that both her world and the world above were filled with wonders and beauty. When it was time to return to her underwater home, Coral promised the children that she would come back to visit. She dove back into the ocean, carrying with her stories and memories of the land above. From that day on, Coral became the bridge between the two worlds. She would bring stories from the land to the ocean, and tales of the sea to the children on the shore. She learned that even though the worlds were different, they were both beautiful and filled with amazing creatures and adventures. And so, Coral the little mermaid lived happily, exploring both her home under the sea and the world above, making friends wherever she went. She learned that with a curious heart and an open mind, you could find wonder in all the worlds, both above and below the waves, and they all lived happily ever after.